Hi there, it's Paul, and today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the common misconceptions, lies, or programming that we've all heard about meditation. And usually the first thing that people think about is, oh my goodness, I have to stay quiet and be silent for 10 or 15 minutes. And I don't know how I can do that. My mind is racing. So first of all, being silent can be a helpful thing, and actually in looking for answers, yes, that can be a part of the solution. But does that need to be the entire process of a meditation? That's programming from somebody, that's somebody else's belief, so to speak. It is helpful in looking for your own answers at certain points in times, but it is a misconception that that is what you need to be doing also. So the other thing is looking at it to find your truth. It is a great place to be. It's a great place to actually work on healing yourself, looking for your own answers, and finding your truth. So one of the biggest things that can come up is some of the programming that we have heard. So I first learned how to meditate when I was 13. And that was through transcendental meditation, which was interesting in its own right. And I'm not knocking it. Some people actually like it or enjoy it. The thing that blew my mind was, and get ready to laugh, is that everybody had the same mantra. So one of the things that comes up is, if everybody has the same mantra, what is that doing? Where are you going? You're going into trance. You're probably going into a hypnotic state, is going to be my first suggestion, or something for you to look at. But if you are actually repeating some kind of words, some mantra, or even in yoga sometimes they'll start repeating a lot of phrases in a foreign language. Well, what the hell is actually behind all that? So look at it for your own truth, because in some cases you may be attracting a lot more than you're actually anticipating, and that's probably adding to the confusion and adding to the effort that you're going into. And it's actually, if you're inviting other crap into your space when you're meditating, how are you going to find your own truth? So first of all, let's blow up the fact that you have to be quiet for 25 minutes. Personally, on a daily basis, I usually meditate for about 45 minutes to an hour. Sometimes I extend it. A light trance can be awesome in the sense that it gives you the chance to quiet yourself and look at things for your own truth. So if you are bringing in somebody else's ideas or ideals, maybe look at it and see if you are actually placing them between yourself and what you see as source. And if you are, why would you actually need to do that? You have your own information. Going into a meditative state is a great place to find it. So one of the other big things that comes up is, when you go and you're sitting to meditate, what is it that you're actually looking to get as the outcome? So setting an intention can be a great thing, or planning on working on one thing. That's one suggestion. So I'll give you a couple great suggestions to kind of play with. The second thing is, if you're meditating, either you may have had an argument with your partner or spouse. You may have had a rough time with your child and trying to get them to see things in a different way, or showing them what they need to do to continue on their path. In either of these cases, or perhaps it's your boss that was pissed off because you're not performing, or whatever the deal is, usually there is something that has affected you that is still in your space. And if you think about it, it's like going to a concert. If you've been in a concert and you're listening to the music, think about what that actually does to your space while you're in there. Is it bringing you joy? Do you feel great? When you leave there, what is it actually, what is the energetic that you're taking with you? Because the energetic that you're taking either away from any of your interactions can still be in your space. So when you go to sit down to meditate, guess what? You are going to be influenced by that which has happened before. or that you are anticipating actually coming up. So you're not necessarily staying in the present moment, which is going to actually give you more of what you're actually looking to get, which is your own answers, or to heal yourself, or to find more information, or look for a next step, or whatever it is that you're actually trying to do. So how do you do that? Well, the first thing, so a suggestion, and you can look at it for yourself, and everybody talks about grounding, etc., etc. So in the way that I've recently learned, in a clairvoyant style, we actually ground the base of the spine. So if you're sitting down, ground the base of your spine. Make it the grounding cord out of something fun, make it about 10% wider than your hips, and then just start releasing. You can actually start tucking the 7 layers of your auric field, which is where a lot of information is, and where a lot of pain and a lot of agony can be, and start tucking it into your grounding cord. And while you're doing it, just think like you're just tucking your shirt or your blouse into either a pair of pants or a skirt. As you're doing that, release anything that's not you and not in your best and highest good. Since you're releasing, you need to fill back up with you, because if you're creating a void, obviously you're going to want to fill up with you. I use gold because gold to me is one of the highest vibrations that we can hold in the body. So you can use whatever you deem necessary. I'd say look at black and white and maybe omit them and see what actually is behind them, because that's 2 colors that I personally am not necessarily thrilled about bringing into my space. And then you can bring it in from your crown or the top of your head and then just drop it into your feet. So the second thing that comes up is, who is up here with you when your eyes are closed and you're trying to find your truth? That's a big question, because typically if you have whoever you've interacted with, there's going to be some stuff going on, there's going to be some effect of them, or they may be in your space. It doesn't matter if it's your spouse, if it's your children, it doesn't matter if it's your boss, it doesn't matter if it's some guru that you actually have hired or placed above you, which I would suggest actually looking at too. So the next best thing to do is to ground this. And you could actually point your fingers at your temples and then go to the front and back of your head and drop a grounding cord from the back of your head, make it out of something fun again, drop it inside your main grounding cord. I'll give you a minute to go ahead and try that. And then use a neutral symbol. I love to use roses because they're neutral. And then look and see who's in there with you. And you can either show them the back end of your grounding cord and ask them to leave, or toss them in some neutral symbol, whatever comes to mind for you to use, and then take all of everybody who is in your center headspace, which should be yours. If you're going to look for your own answers, look for your own truth and find your next steps, gather them up, place a huge bomb underneath it, blow it up, give them their energy back, because that's basically just what you're doing. You can send it to the light if you want to do that. Whatever sounds good to you or resonates with you, have at it. But then you're going to actually be able to look for your answers, look for your truth in a neutral space. Otherwise, you have the net effects of whatever's happened to you in the last 24 hours, the last 53 years, the last 3 lifetimes, sitting up here having some effect on you. So this should be the place where you are the only one up here. Your spouse, your priest, if you believe in a priest, your guru should be the hell out of there. You should not be joined. Nobody should be up there but you. And then you can actually start looking for your truth and looking for your answers. When you get to that space, then you can start, what is the question? What is the intention? What is it that you're looking for? And then again, if you ground a neutral symbol in front of you, you could use a rose, you could use something else that comes up. Ask it to tell you your next step. And then be patient for a minute. Be amused. If you're amused, you're going to actually be, if you try with a lot of effort, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And then after you're done with it, you can just release it, get it out of your space, and then move on to the next thing. But you don't necessarily have to, when I am meditating, I am working my space probably 80% of the time. if not 90. Some days it's 100%. So I'm clearing everything that's not me out, and that means the remnants of you or remnants of whoever, so that I can fully own my space and fully bring myself in versus have everybody else's ideas, emotions, thoughts, what their wants and needs are that are dragging on me. If I have that in my space, how am I going to find my truth? If I don't clear everybody out, how do I find my truth? So those are my key points. You can take it to whatever you see as your next best step. But one of another suggestion is, before you finish, look for a next step for yourself. And if you start to create your next steps, do you need somebody to sit above you? Do you need a guru? Do you need some religious being or whatever to sit there and tell you what you need to do? I'll leave you with that, as you can figure that out for yourself. But again, ground a neutral symbol, ask for your next step, go ahead and release it, and then when you're done, you can just go ahead and, you can take a few minutes and be silent and look for your answers, and that's fine. If they don't come to you right away, a suggestion is, don't get frustrated. Go ahead and move about your day, and then ask yourself to just for the answers to come to you. And then when you do that, you're in a non-effort space, and the more amused you are and the more not in effort that you are, the easier it's going to come to you. So sometimes the answers don't come straight away, but the ahas will come, and then you can actually act on them. So hopefully this is helpful. Again, ground the base of your spine, ground the center of your head, move everybody the hell out of there so you can own your space. If you're doing mantras, if you're doing something, this is all in the body too. So we're staying in our body. We're not going out for our answers. Our answers are inside of us. So when somebody tells you that you need to go out to somebody else for your answers, you may want to look at that, because usually that means you're giving your seniority up to somebody else's crap. It's not yours. And if you choose to do that, that's fine. You can also choose to change that at any point in time that you so desire. So make it a fabulous morning, evening, or afternoon. Hopefully this displaces some of the lies and the misconceptions about meditation. Make it your own. Make it your own practice. The colors that you will see when you start to look at it can tell you a lot of things. There's a lot of information to be had in there. A neutral symbol helps to kind of represent it so that you can actually, have it, you can actually see it, and then ask it to, just keep asking questions. If you keep asking questions, you will get answers. You may not get them as fast as you want them, which sometimes can be frustrating, but then again, slow it down a little bit and then give yourself permission to receive the information. So make it a fabulous morning, evening, or afternoon, and until the next quick little video.